Hey guys, welcome to Bharti Yoga. I am Bharti. Today we'll be learning how to do Surya Namaskar B or the Sun Salutation B. This is a slightly advanced variation of Surya Namaskar A, and you can add it to your practice once you have done a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. So once you are ready, let's hop onto the mat and get ready.
Come to the top of your mat. Bring both your feet together. Engage your legs and pull up your kneecaps. Tuck your tailbone in and engage your core. Roll your shoulders back. Distribute your weight evenly on all the four corners of the feet. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring both the hands to the heart center in Namaskar Mudra. As you inhale, extend your arms overhead and start lowering your hips back to come into chair pose or Utkat Asana. Keep your chest open and do not let your knees go over the toes. Keep your weight on the heels and reach up through the fingertips. As you exhale, fold forward from the hips to come to Uttan Asana. Keep your knees bent if your hamstrings are tight. Otherwise, slowly straighten your legs. Rest your hands beside your feet and bring your nose to your knees. As you inhale, lift your torso halfway, lengthening your spine forward so your back is flat to come into Ardha Uttanasana. Maintaining a flat back, you can keep your fingertips on the floor or bring them to your shins. As you exhale, bring your palms to the floor and step or jump back into plank pose or Kumbhak Asana with your hands under your shoulders and feet hip distance apart. Taking your body slightly forward, continue exhaling as you lower your body towards the floor to come into Chaturanga. Keep your elbows tucked in towards your sides. If needed, you can bring the knees down, followed by the chest and chin to come into Ashtang Namaskar pose. Otherwise, keep your legs straight and reach back through your heels. As you inhale, draw your chest forward and straighten your arms to come into upward facing dog. Point your feet back, draw your shoulders back and lift your heart to the sky. Press through the tops of your feet, lifting your thighs off the floor and fully engaging the leg muscles. Keep your elbows tucked in to your sides in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, curl your toes in. Push the ground with your hands and feet to come into downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here, keep your shoulders away from the ears and push your chest towards the thighs. Extend your tailbone towards the sky, keeping your back long. Try to keep your legs straight with the heels on the ground. As you inhale, raise the right leg up. Step the right foot between your hands and bring the left heel on the ground at 45-degree angle. Bend your right knee while keeping your back leg straight. Raise your arms straight overhead to come into Warrior 1 or Veerbhadrasana 1. Try to keep your hips squared so that they face forward. Bring your hands together and gaze towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands back to the mat and step your right foot back to high plank. Continue exhaling to lower your body to Chaturanga or knee chest chin. As you inhale, slide forward to come into upward facing dog or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, curl your toes in and lift your hips to come into downward facing dog. Take 3 deep long breaths here. As you inhale, raise the left foot straight up, step the left foot between your hands and bring the right heel on the ground. Bend the left knee while keeping your back leg straight. Raise your arms overhead to come into Warrior 1. As you exhale, bring your hands back to the mat and step the left foot back into high plank. Continue exhaling to lower your body to Chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward to come into upward facing dog. As you exhale, curl your toes in, lift your hips to come into downward facing dog. Take 3 long deep breaths here. After 3 breaths, bend your knees, raise your tailbone up and gaze between your hands. Transferring your weight to your hands, jump forward, landing your feet between your hands. As you inhale, lift your torso halfway to straighten your spine in Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold forward to Uttanasana, bringing your torso close to the thighs and hands beside your feet. As you inhale, extend your arms up and push your hips back to come into chair pose. As you exhale, push your feet into the ground to come into Tadasana and bring the hands to the heart center. This was one round of Surya Namaskar B. Let's do one more round, this time a bit faster. As you inhale, raise your arms up and push your hips down to come into chair pose or Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward all the way down to Uttanasana. Inhale, straighten your spine and come halfway up to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor and step or jump back to high plank or Kumbhakasana. Continue going down to Chaturanga or knee chest chin. Inhale, slide forward and point your feet to come into upward facing dog. Exhale, curl your toes in to come into downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, raise the right leg up, step it between the hands and bring the left heel on the ground. Raise your arms up to come into Warrior 1. Bring your hands together and gaze towards the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down and step back to high plank. Continue to Chaturanga or knee chest chin. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. Raise your chest up towards the sky. Exhale, come to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. As you inhale, raise the left leg back, step it between the hands and bring the right heel to the ground. Raise the arms up to come into Warrior 1. Look up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring the hands down and step back to high plank. Continue to Chaturanga or knee chest chin. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. Exhale, come to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep long breaths here. Now bend your knees and gaze between your hands. Jump or step forward to bring the feet between your hands. As you inhale, lift your torso halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold forward to Uttanasana, bringing hands beside your feet. Inhale, extend your arms up and push your hips back to come to chair pose. Exhale, push your feet into the ground to come into Tadasana and bring the hands to heart center. Very good. This was Sun Salutation B. Try incorporating a few rounds of these after Surya Namaskar A to really fire up your practice. Hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe to the channel if you found this helpful. Thank you and see you next week.